So,
It's a beautiful day today. My goodness.
we are at Egmont Lighthouse on Prince Edward Island. We just got off the bridge about an hour and a half ago. And we came off the bridge, turned left, traveled, it would be west along the lower coast of Prince Edward Island. And we saw this place on iOverlander, and just the photos look good. There's an awful lot of photos, so I expected people to be here. Of course, there's no one.
Yeah, of course.
We had a couple of visitors, though. People just came and looked.
Yeah.
And the number of pictures that have and the number of comments on it, it's going to be a popular destination for people who are boondocking. So
here we are.
Here we are, and there probably might be some other people come up. We got the best spot. Actually,
no,
there's like 5 best spots.
Yeah, that's true.
There's this one, and there's one over there, and there's one way over there, and there's one we were going to take over there, but it had a couple of low pockets with some mud in them. And there's one you can drive out, and if you want to go over a small road that has a couple of mud areas, we could have made it. There's a beautiful spot out there, but it's kind of surrounded by
thickets,
by ocean on the side where the cliff part is. So it's pretty big, but I thought I might not want to take the chance of having to turn around tomorrow morning there.
Oh, yes, of course.
With this one, we're just parked on the front of the lighthouse on the water on a heavily eroding cliff that has that characteristic red dirt from Prince Edward Island. We were here before, Joyce. I mean, not here, but we were Prince Edward Island.
Yes, we were. We were here when our girls were small. They were 30, at
least 30 years ago. They're in the late 30s now, so it was 30, 32 years ago, something like that. They were 5 and 6, I think. Yeah. Oops, I just heard a car door.
Yeah.
Someone else is visiting.
Yeah. And there's some birds over there that Dan identified as what?
Cormorants.
Cormorants.
Yeah, got a little app that identifies trees and stuff, and I zoomed in, and the program didn't like it. Took a picture in the program, and it said, it looks like it's cormorants. And so I checked online, and sure enough, they do look like cormorants from the pictures that I saw.
Yeah.
But there's a little crowd of them. It's like like they kind of huddle together on a rock. What else? I can tell it's rather shallow out here because the ocean is blue, but you can see that reddish earth going out 100, 200 feet out. You can see the color. I don't know how deep it would be, but it's enough to see that reddish earth out here. And we parked at least 10 feet from the edge because even though I'm sure nothing would happen, all that dirt along the edge looks like it's eroding, and it looks very loose. It's not rocky at all. So. It's mid-afternoon, early mid-afternoon, and we'll just stay here till tomorrow morning sometime. Because it is a choice boondocking area, for sure. I'm sitting here editing this video, and It's quite breezy outside. Doors are banging a little bit. I've got them bungeed over there. Stuff is kind of flying around. But it's 74 degrees, so it's really nice. Not a very pretty parking lot, but a beautiful place. Again, Overlander led us here. We're at the tip of the western end of Prince Edward Island. The place is, we've got several windmills. The one closest to us isn't going right now. There's not a whole lot of wind. I was able to fly my drone. You got to have it under 25 miles an hour, and I rarely fly it if it's over 10. I like 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. It's a gravel parking lot, and it's free, and it's pretty secluded. We've had a few visitors come to walk their dogs and bring their kids, and there is a small, about 1.5 mile boardwalk. You can walk along the edge. Joyce and I probably walked down half of it, and then we kind of turned around and came back. And it was nice. You just followed more of the coast. With a few placards here and there to talk about the birds and some of the flora and other fauna that's here. Like the rest of this coastline, it is rapidly eroding. And there's guardrails everywhere and warnings not to go over them because it's an actively eroding seaside. And I believe them. But I'm looking at the windmills, some of them turning now, and I'm thinking they're beautiful. There are so many people who fight them. Even in my home state in Maine, they fought them tooth and nail, saying they were too noisy, they were ugly blight on the landscape, etc. But when I see these white behemoths stretching up from the landscape, and I see that we are a species that needs energy, and these are giving us clean energy. They may kill a few birds, I guess. People will say, oh, they break down, they're unreliable, they're no good. Well, I've driven through the Midwest, and I've seen tens of thousands of them driving all day on land that's flat, prairie, and as far as the eye could see on both sides of the road to the horizon, all day driving. So the companies that are putting these up must all be losing money if they're that bad, and they're bad businessmen and women because they just keep putting more and more of them up, I guess. But when I see these and I see them just turning in the air, and I'm thinking, it's not fossil fuels. There's no CO2 being made. Yes, they've got to make the things, and I'm sure there's some environmental impact to that, but it's got to be minor compared to the alternative. And we either have electricity or we don't. And if we can have it this way and have it clean, then I'm all for it. I love these things. We were just talking about how funny we look here, and they can see us in the camera.
Yeah.
We just been lying here under the bed, and I said, "Oh, we should do some video of this." After we ended up talking for like half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we were talking about how were the windmills, and I asked Trish if she felt like Don Quixote. And she was like, "What?" And she finally got it.
Yeah, I finally got it.
He fought the windmills. Now we were sitting here talking and looking at our map. And let me show you our map. Okay, there is our map. As you can tell, I'm still lying on the bed. And I don't know if you can see the dots we have, but we are behind on putting our little stickers up on this map by a factor of 2 or 3. It should be at least double and probably more like triple of what should be on there. And this map is at the head of our bed. It's kind of cool. It's I ordered a laminated school map. It has a thick plastic laminate, and then I glued it with contact cement to a piece of wallboard or hardboard, and then I screwed it up. I was meant to put a frame around it, but I never got to it. Maybe I will someday when I run out of things to do. But we were just thinking about where the heck we could go from, we've
Yes.
been west like 3 times, or partially west 4 times. We've been south more than a couple times.
Yeah.
We've been up into various places of Canada, but mostly up on the East Coast. We've never been to North Dakota.
Yeah.
And we've just passed through Texas on our way from here to there.
Yeah.
Most other states we've spent a moderate amount of time to quite a bit of time, and some of them 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
I'm just thinking about where we could go again. And every time we do this, we say, well, we'll just do local stuff. Maybe we'll go in like an upper New York State. We haven't been there too much. And we'll go to music festivals because we have some around, and they usually entail anywhere from 2 to 6 days of camping, some of them.
Yeah.
And, they have a hot air balloon festival in New Hampshire, not very far from us. Not as big as the big one in Arizona, but, it's close.
It's close.
Stuff like that. And we talk like that, and then we end up like
Here.
we just topped 3,000 miles
Yeah.
in the last 4 weeks. So, and we'll be probably close to 4 before we get home.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of becoming on the home stretch here. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Well, we don't have to think about it for a while because winter's coming.
Yeah.
And we don't go south in the winter because, 1, we don't like to leave the house. And 2, we don't like to leave the house because, when things freeze, you can end up with a mess. And 2, we tried going south a couple times, and it was colder in Alabama than it was in Maine. The polar vortex goes deep down to the Gulf.
So,
and remember the two areas, if you go down to Florida, it seems to miss it, but I don't want to go to Florida
I don't want
anymore.
Either.
It was good to see Mickey Mouse. After that, I don't want to. And all, New Mexico and Arizona, those are all really nice. That seems to miss it over there too, but we've been there so much.
Yes.
Because we like it.
Yeah.
And there's always Texas, but
Texas, well,
no.
It's a really big state.
I'm sure it's wonderful.
It's
big. There's cities and then there's desert in between. That's in my mind. That's what it is anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. What we're thinking is we've done a lot of the Maritimes in Canada. But we're thinking that a gray area across the top. Well, we can cut across there and probably travel the southern border of Canada. It's bound to be fairly metropolitan in some areas, because I think because of the cold, everything's in the southern half mostly. So that's a possibility, but you're getting older, Joyce.
Both getting older.
Yeah, we're getting older, and we're wondering, like, when do we have to, like, cool it here? But I mean, we just don't go camping. We don't do it. We used to meet a lot of people who have a big, like, fifth wheel or a motorhome, and they just park it, and they set out the lawn tables and the umbrellas, and they bring their flowers and their signs and everything. We don't do that. We just keep moving almost on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Long days, short days, sometimes half days, sometimes just a couple hours on the road, an hour and a half sometime. But we move and camp, and that's what this contraption we have is really good at.
Yes.
So I don't know, Joyce.
Yeah.
We'll have to think about it.
Yes, we will.
We've been everywhere, man. Breathe about. Isn't that a country song? And then they go into Chattanooga. They go to all these. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh well.
Okay. Oh well.
Oh well. Pretty soon, anyway, we'll go home.
Yes.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I think probably one of the best things about taking off someplace else is
you appreciate home more.
You get to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the guy said, why are you hitting yourself over the head with a hammer? Because when I stop, it feels good. Why don't we do this? Because when we go home, it feels good. Oh, well, bye, guys.
Bye.